meaningful it is to have you with them at this time of heartbreak. None of us should have to be here today. We wish we could go back a week when life seemed so full of hope and promise. We wish we could somehow change what has happened. We shouldn't be here today. Patrick should be out riding his motorcycle, or gaming with Timothy, or hanging out with his dog Poe and all his friends around the backyard pool, mentoring a younger scout, or getting ready to eat a family dinner with Marty and Chris. None of us should have to be here today. But we are here because Patrick died by suicide. We've gathered to mourn Patrick's death. We've gathered to give thanks for his life. We've gathered to be of comfort to his family, Marty, Chris, Timothy, and all the other family who are with us today. We have gathered to be with the Lucy family, but we know it could be any family. We've gathered to remember Patrick, but it could be any of our children. There's so much that we don't know, but we do know that Patrick wrestled with anxiety and depression. There's so much we don't know, but what we do know is Patrick is now gone from us, and that loss is unfathomable. And we are here to do the hard work, the important work of together feeling the loss his death brings. The work of holding our memories of Patrick close, even as we prepare to let him go. His sanctuary is filled with so many different feelings: shock, despair, disbelief, grief, anger, rage, helplessness, numbness. Whatever you are feeling is okay. It is appropriate. In order to get through this, you will need to feel those feelings and find a way to express them. And as Patrick's family and friends, you don't have to do it alone. We have each other. You have each other. So please, those of you closest to Patrick, do not isolate yourself in your grief. Look around you. All the people here are a testimony that so many are brokenhearted with you. If you are feeling pain, it is okay to actively seek help and support. No one here today should have to do it alone. Share what you are feeling with someone else, a friend, a trusted adult, a parent, a friend's parent, someone. But know too that there is another feeling that fills this sanctuary today. There is another feeling that fills our hearts today. There is another feeling that is greater than death. That feeling is love. The love that you have for Patrick. The love Patrick had for you. Patrick's love is here. We light our chalice to remind us of that love. A poet once wrote, "It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, to hope, dream, to be, to be and oh, to lose. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your friendship was gift to me. Your smile was the world to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. My friends, we are here to lift up the name of Patrick Jonathan Lucy, our son, our brother, our classmate, our nephew, our fellow scout and crew member, our student, our friend. Today, we commit the preciousness of memory to a life that was mingled with our own, the depth and breadth of which remain to bless us. Those whom we love do indeed leave us, and when we lose them, no spoken word can lessen our grief. But what they were can never leave us. Who they were can never leave us. The strength of their presence, the gentleness of their sympathy, the warmth of their love, these are ours always, interfused with our thought and blended with our lives. Patrick died by suicide, but that one moment does not define Patrick's life. There is so much fullness and magnificence to Patrick. The first thing Chris said to me about Patrick when I visited with Marty, Timothy, and Chris was, he was a good kid. And Patrick was. He was a smart and brilliant student. He could watch a video on one screen, be gaming with Timothy on the other, and be studying the book open on his desk all at the same time and get straight A's. Patrick was creative. He could look at a block of wood and see what it would become. He was a builder. Patrick was determined. Someone who set goals for himself and then achieved them. That's why he earned the rank of Eagle Scout, along with his brother. That's why he recently shed some extra pounds and created for himself the body he wanted and imagined. That's why he finished and set off all those college applications. That's why he decided he can do even better on the SATs, and he studied hard, even researched statistically the most effective time of the day to take the test, and then signed up for the test at that time and got a higher score. Patrick was determined, someone who set goals for himself and then achieved them. That is why he was finally able to convince his mom to let him earn the money to buy himself his prize, his motorcycle. He took the safety test, he aced it, he worked hard and saved, and 4 weeks ago, this bike was delivered to their house, and Chris and Patrick opened up the box to reveal Patrick's hard-earned, awesome dream come true. How incredible it was for him to ride into school that first day, and the next, and the next. What true happiness he felt. Patrick enjoyed helping people. Kind is a word that fits him well. He stood up for people when needed. He was a champion of the underdog. He was a protector of Julia in the scout troop. And when a scout leader was grousing because a girl was in the troop, Patrick would have none of it and put a stop to it. Teen teaches adult what is right. Patrick was aware of other people. He had the rare gift to see things in people that someone couldn't see in themselves. He was a good friend, and his friends would reach out to him when they were having a rough time, and Patrick would help them. He had weathered some storms himself, and he used his strength to encourage others to find theirs. People gravitated to Patrick, and he could get along with all kinds of different people. People knew he was genuine. He was funny and had a dry sense of humor and a great wit. He liked to have fun, to hang out at the pool with his friends, to game with Timothy. As he grew older in scouting, Patrick just didn't hang with the experienced scouts. He mentored and encouraged the younger scouts so they too could fulfill their potential as emerging leaders and citizens. Recently, Patrick was coaching his mom and dad on the healthy joys of the keto diet, becoming their teacher and keeping them motivated. And I have it on official word from his mom that Patrick never met any freshly cleaned and folded laundry that he couldn't turn into a messy pile of clothes within a few hours' time. His interests were so diverse. He explored so many different things. And Patrick loved and looked up to his brother. Timothy, you made a huge difference in your brother's life. You and Patrick complemented each other. If not for you, Timothy, Patrick would not have experienced or done many of the meaningful things that he did. You opened the door for him and led the way, and you made it easier for Patrick to follow. Look at all you helped him experience and enjoy. Jambo, trip to Europe, all those concerts, and so much more. You have been a fantastic brother, Patrick. Marty and Chris, you have surrounded Patrick and Timothy with so much love and support and created a nurturing and fun-filled family of four. For her two boys, Marty turned herself into scout leader extraordinaire. Marty, you made sure that Patrick and his friends got to go deep sea fishing, play paintball, have poker nights, and camp, which Patrick enjoyed because it gave him a chance to be with his friends. Marty, you also planned epic road trips for your Lucy boys. And Patrick got to experience over 30 national parks, something most people never do in a lifetime. And Chris, you've been hands-on, always present since day one. When the boys were little, they would hang out with you for the day at the center. There was the requisite stop at Hollywood Video, where it took Patrick 3 hours to choose a video, followed by pizza. Patrick and Timothy grew a bit older. Hollywood Video got that gaming console. So every time you went there, there was a race to see which brother got to it first. It was usually Timothy, and Patrick would cry and sob because he wanted to go. Chris, your work schedule allowed you a flexibility most parents can't have, and you were always present for every after-school activity and event. And Marty, every day you told Patrick you loved him. He heard those words every day of his life because of you, his mom. Patrick also struggled with anxiety and depression and knew the painful and difficult struggle with nights and sometimes brain. There is so much to Patrick and his meaningful life that matters to so many people. And this celebration of Patrick's life is our time to remember how our lives have been touched and changed by Patrick. This is a time to tell stories and share memories. This is a time to feel grateful for having shared the journey with him. This is a time to celebrate the generous, kind, and fun-loving life that was Patrick Lucy. And so, in that spirit, I invite the many, many Scout Troop Crew 60 members to come forward, come up onto the chancel back here, and I know 2 of you will be lighting this candle in honor of Patrick's life.